Sarah, look at this. Oh yes, Sarah. Have you heard about the new 5-star hotel at Kuala Lumpur? It is affordable too for students like us. So why don't we go there and stay there while doing some food hunting?
Oh, really? It sounds like a great idea. When can we go there?
Then how about this weekend? Are you okay with it?
Oh, yeah, I think I'm cool with that. That sounds like a great plan.
Recently, there's a new online booking website under the name of Roselia Hotel that has just been developed. So why don't you check it out and try to book a room for us while at it?
Leave it to me. The other day, Hanis told me about the Hotel Roselia's new website. Let me try to search it.
Okay, as you can see, this is the interface for the homepage of Roselia Hotel. We have the navigation buttons, a brief introduction of Roselia Hotel, and reviews from previous guests, as well as the ratings given to the hotel for their services. Here is the gallery of Roselia Hotel, consists some of the landscape and facilities around it. If you go to the book page as an unregistered guest, there will be a message asking you to sign up first, but we will get to it later. Every guest will be able to download the user manual guide of Roselia Hotel website using the hyperlink given. Inside, guests will be roughly explained on how to navigate around the website, from the system overview to exiting the website. There will be 3 types of sign-in: guest, iManager, and iStaff. But for now, we will focus on signing in as a guest. If you already have an account, straight up sign in with your existing username and password. But if it's the opposite, you will need to register first. On the register page, fill up the needed details in order to proceed with the account registration. After that, you will be able to sign in as a registered guest. Once you have registered, now you can sign in using your username and your password. If guests were to put wrong username or password, a message saying invalid password will appear, and once again ask the guest to re-enter the details. All you need to do is click the back button and re-enter the right information. Then you will be able to sign in. There you have it. Once signed in, your username will be displayed and will function to hold the set guest session in the home page for member. A new button named Account will replace the Sign In button once you have signed in. At the profile page, you will be able to edit your profile accordingly. Now that you have registered your account and signed in, now you will be able to book a room.
Now, this page is where users can check the availability of each type of room. This is where users can decide which type of room to be booked that is within their budget. Users can simply click this red button to proceed with bookings. In the booking page, the user must first choose the type of room that they wanted to book and the number of nights. And then they can simply click the process button so that the system can generate the total price of the room. So in this area, the only text field that the user must fill in is room, reserve date, the check-in date and the check-out date, and the number of nights. So for the reservation date section, the users are advised to just click this circle and it will take today's date by default. And on the check-in date, they can select the date that they wanted to check in, and also not to forget their checkout date. And also the number of nights that they wanted to stay, and they can click booked. Here in the payment page, the user must fill in their card number, the expiry date of their card, the name on the card, and the CVV or CVC number at the back of their card. And not to forget, they must agree to the terms and the condition. Just simply click here, and then they can proceed with the payment. So, after clicking the proceed button, the system will generate an invoice for the user. The user must remember their reference number for check-in purposes, or they can just simply snap a picture of it, and then the user can click this home button to return to their profile.
Welcome to Hotel Roselia. What can I help you?
I have a reservation with the hotel the other day on the website.
Okay, can I know the reference number, please?
It's 1014.
Okay, wait a minute, I check.
Alright.
For the staff, firstly, the staff must click the sign in button here, and it will navigate the staff to the sign in type page. And the staff must click the iStaff image, and it will lead them to the sign in for the iStaff. And the staff must input their own ID and their password. If the staff enter the wrong password, it will lead them to the error page. But it's okay, the staff can just simply click the back button here and it will lead them to the staff login page again. And this time, the staff may try to enter the password correctly. This is a home page for the staff. As you can see, the name of the staff will be printed out here because we hold the session for that particular staff only. And there also a table that shows the information of the staff, like the staff ID and the name of that staff. And there also a navigation bar to help the staff navigate through the page. There's a home button that will lead them to this home staff page again. And there's an update guest to update the detail about the reservation of the guest. And the about button to show the information and details about the hotel staff members. And there's an account here to log out the account of the staff. And we'll go to the update button. This is the update page for the staff to update the guest reservation detail. Firstly, the staff may ask the reference number from the guest based on their invoice. The reference number entered will search all through the record for the reservation, and it will print out the specific entered reference number details. And from here, the staff can update the staff who handle the reception, and the staff can also update the status of the guest, but this time it will be check-in.
Enjoy your stay.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I'd like to check out.
Okay, can I know the reference number please?
Oh, it's 1014.
When the guest requests to check out from the hotel, the staff may update the guest status again. To do this, the staff must click the update guest button here, and it will navigate them to the update guest page. And from here, they will also search the reference number for that particular guest. Once it's done searching all the truth for the record for the reservation, it will print out all the details about that particular entered reference number only. And from here, the staff can update the status of the guest to check out.
Here's the key.
Alright, thank you for choosing our hotel. We hope you enjoy your stay.
Alright, no problem.
Bye.
Bye.
Ay, 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 ay.
Ooh, someone just checked out. It'll be nice if I kick them. Hello, I'm the manager. So this is Roselia Hotel. As a manager, I have to sign in first. So that's the sign in button. In the sign in type, I'm supposed to press the I manager because I'm the manager. And from there, you can see this interface here. We have the manager ID and the password. So as you can see, if I input my manager ID correctly, I'm supposed to go to another page. But what if I put it wrong? So let's see. 111, that's my ID. And let's try 123. 124. Oops! Invalid password! But it's alright, I can go back. Now, let's go for the real deal. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my page. Apparently, it says welcome SUHAIL MUAZZAM. That's my name. The name got printed out because of the manager ID session, which it took the manager name from that table and output it here in this page. So my job is to delete a bunch of customers like this bunch. I'm supposed to be deleting people with a status checkout. So as we can see in this interface, we have guest username is Sarah and the status is checkout. So let's delete this one. Presto, she's gone. And we can log out. That's all.
Moving on to the hierarchy of this system, the entity relationship diagram of Hotel Roselia Management System. So, as you can see, there are 7 entities overall, which are guest, reservation, payment, room, staff, manager, and invoice. As for the guest entity, there are 7 attributes in total, which are guest IC, first name, last name, address, phone number, username, and email address. All this data will be retrieved from the user for registration purposes. The relationship for the guest entity and the reservation entity is that each guest can make many reservations, but each reservation can only be made by one guest. The next entity is reservation entity. The attributes of this entity are guest IC, room ID, staff ID, reserve ID, reserve date, reserve check-in, reserve checkout, and reserve number of night. In this entity, there are 3 attributes that are a primary key but also a foreign key at the same time. That is because it is a bridge entity. Next up is the payment entity. The attributes of this entity are payment ID, guest IC, first name, last name, credit card number, expiry date, and reserve ID. The primary key of this entity is payment ID and guest IC, while the foreign key of this entity is guest IC and reserve ID. The relationship of this entity is that each reservation may proceed with one and only one payment, and each payment may be preceded by one and only one reservation. Moving on, the attributes for the room entity are room ID, room type, room description, and room rate. Room ID is the primary key of this entity. The relationship of room entity and the reservation entity is that each room may be booked by many reservations, but each reservation may book one and only one room. Next up is the staff entity. There are 7 attributes in total, which are staff ID, staff password, staff name, staff date of birth, staff address, staff phone number, and manager ID. The primary key of this entity is staff ID, while the foreign key is manager ID. The relationship of this entity and the reservation entity is that each staff may handle many reservations, but each reservation may be handled by one and only one staff. Now this is the manager entity. Its attributes are manager ID, manager password, and manager name. As you can see, the primary key of this entity is manager ID. The relationship of manager entity and the staff entity is that each manager may manage many staffs, but each staff may be managed by one and only one manager. Last but not least is the invoice entity. The attributes of this entity are invoice ID, invoice description, invoice date, and staff ID. Invoice ID is the primary key, while staff ID is a foreign key. The relationship of this entity and the staff entity is that each staff may generate many invoices, but Each invoice may be generated by one and only one staff.